How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the things that you should know before buying a Dodge Challenger. So if you're looking to buy a Dodge Challenger, I'm sure you guys probably know all the different trims that are available, like the SXT, the RT, the Scat Pack, the 392, and then the Hellcat, and then the new Demon. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video don't apply to all the trim levels of the Challenger, but I'll do my best. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually the size of the Challenger. So if you look at it right here, yeah, it doesn't really look that big just from looking at it, but when you're inside it actually driving, it feels huge. And guys, there's a reason why people call the Challenger a boat. Number one, because of the size, it's freaking huge. And number two, because it weighs 4,200 pounds, at least the Scat Pack does. So when you're on the road, you really can't see that well out of the windshield because it is kind of slanted. It's really not that bad once you get used to it. And if you have the shaker right there, then that actually takes up a lot more space than you would have thought. Also, it's hard to kind of see how wide the car actually is from the right side here, just because it's kind of a wide car. Next thing that I want to talk about is the blind spots. So let's say, for example, you're about to merge right. So you look in your side mirror and then you look back. Yeah, you can't really see anything out of there, unless you want to look out of the actual back windshield right there. So back there is a pretty huge blind spot, and it hasn't really been an issue for me, but I could see it being an issue in the future if there's a car in there and somehow I don't see it in the side mirrors. So the blind spots are something that you're just gonna have to get used to if you want to get a Challenger. In my opinion, they're really easy to get used to. Just make sure you're using your side mirrors and looking out the back window, and that should be fine. Blind spots really shouldn't be that much of an issue. So let's take a minute to talk about the visibility out of the back. As you can see, yeah, you really can't see anything out of there. Yeah, you can see like some of the road, but if there's something right behind you, you can't see it. So that's why there's actually a backup camera in this Dodge Challenger. I'm not sure if they all have one. I don't think the SXTs come with one, but I could be wrong about that. But the Scat Pack and the higher trim levels, they do come with a backup camera, which is extremely useful on this touchscreen. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually the traction on the Dodge Challenger. So if you're buying a Dodge Challenger, you're probably buying it for the performance. Now the Scat Pack comes with 245 tires on the back, and the Hellcat comes with 275s. And in my opinion, the 245s really are pretty much useless on this car. With 485 horsepower from the factory, they spin like crazy, guys. If you give it like half throttle from a standstill, it's gonna spin, and if you floor it from like 30 or 40, it'll spin. And I've heard similar things said about the Hellcat and the 275 tires on that. So if it's your first time driving a car like this, just make sure you're aware that the tires really aren't made for this kind of power. It's really easy to spin, and it's really easy to get out of control if you don't know like what you're doing, or if you're just not expecting the tires to spin that much. I believe the widest size tire that you can get on the stock 20 by 9 inch rims is like 265 or 275 maybe. I'm not sure. I've heard a lot of different sizes, but that's what I've heard. And if you're buying a Dodge Challenger to drag race, you're pretty much going to want to get rid of these tires from the start because they're useless for drag racing. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually the trunk space. So as you see here, I have my camera backpack, tripod, and the trunk is actually really spacious. It has a lot of room for luggage or whatever you want to have. And the rear seats actually fold down too, so you could fit a lot of things back here. The next thing I want to talk about is actually the room on the inside of the Dodge Challenger. So as you see here, there's actually quite a bit of space inside. If you even look at the back, you can see there's quite a bit of leg room back there too. And there's actually a lot of space in the back and pretty much everywhere. It's just a really spacious vehicle. And not only that, but it's also pretty luxurious in my opinion. It has these nice leather seats, leather steering wheel, and it does have heated and ventilated seats and also a heated steering wheel, which is really nice. So the next thing I'm going to talk about only applies to the Challengers that have the shaker right here. And what I want to talk about with that is that you actually have to remove it to get the oil changed. Now if you're curious how to remove the shaker, I did a video about that explaining exactly how to do it and showing you guys step by step how to take the shaker off. I'm going to link that video in the description, so make sure to go check that out if you're interested. Next thing that you should know if you're planning to buy a Dodge Challenger is that everyone on the road is going to try to race you. And of course not everybody, but a lot of people are going to. And just by the looks of this car, like the halo lights aren't on right now, but when the car is running, it has really cool halo lights, and that just makes it look so mean coming down the road, especially with the size of this vehicle. It just looks so aggressive from the front, and people will just try to race you. And in my opinion, it's really fun. And in my opinion, racing people just on the streets, like, it's pretty funny because people think their like Honda Civics can beat you, but they really don't know that this boat is actually fast. So is the Dodge Challenger a good vehicle for everybody? Well, it really depends what you're buying it for. If you just want a daily driver, I'd say it could be, but it also couldn't be. It really just depends how you care about your vehicle. In my opinion, I'd say it wouldn't be a good daily driver just because it's so big and the suspension is kind of stiff. And yes, the seats are comfortable, but I just wouldn't like daily driving this car. I actually think the Charger would be a better option for a daily driver just because it seems like it's more comfortable, more spacious, and just an all-around better daily driver. But if you're getting a Dodge Challenger for the performance and to go drag racing, then I'd say this is the perfect car to get started with, especially if you get the Scat Pack or any higher level trim. I wouldn't really recommend the regular RT with the 5.7 liter for drag racing because, yeah, you can do a lot of stuff to make it faster, but why not just get a 6.4 liter and make it even faster? So for drag racing, like I said, yes, the Challenger will definitely be a great car for drag racing and performance stuff like that. The Challenger won't do good at all kinds of performance events. I'd say strictly drag racing for this because, like I said, it is a boat. It weighs 4,200 pounds. It's really not a track car like a road course car. It's a straight line drag racing car. So that's what it's made for, and it would be perfect for that. Something else that I wanted to say about the Dodge Challenger is that it stays really planted on the road. So even though it does weigh 4,200 pounds, it actually is really stable on the road. So on like highway drives, it's really comfortable to drive, like long road trips and stuff like that. I took this car to Ocean City for Ocean City Cruise Week, and it did just fine on the highway, and it's just a great car, guys. So make sure to check out some of my other videos that I did about this Dodge Challenger on my channel. I have a bunch of videos like the Billet Technology oil catch can installation tutorial and the mid muffler delete that I got done, and just a bunch of Dodge Challenger videos like that. So make sure to go check out some of my other videos. I'd appreciate any kind of support. So in conclusion, guys, I'd say the Challenger is a great performance car for drag racing. Not really the best for daily driving, but if that's what you want, it can do that as well. So if you like this video or found it informative, whatever, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.